Adam 120, there's going to be a male going to be right on the right side of the building.
Yep.
Adam 120, there's going to be a male going to be right on the right side of the building.
Yeah, we're moving.
Delta 165 show clear.
Delta 165 clear.
Delta 180 clear 58.
Delta 18058. Delta 165, you know, for that vicious animal, 122 Green Pass. Contact Melinda. They're not letting her get in her home. They're charging at her. We're trying. Okay, thank you for the field.
Wayne, repeat.
Adam 131, she advised they went to the field.
Tower 1 into the field.
Adam 131 area.
Tower in area.
Feels like a Friday. Knee deep in damage control, the legal problems piling up for both presidential front runners.
Delta 130?
Delta 130.
Yeah, you need to contact me. Navy 0713.
10-4. 10-4.
Second and 8 for fuel.
10-4. Delta 165, copy your call.
Delta 160.
It's going to be 122 Green Pass for vicious dogs, not allowing the tenant to get in.
10-4.
10-4, she said she'd be at location.
10-4, I'm not seeing anybody here. I'm going to look around some more. 1400, we have animal control for that?
We're trying to get animal control. Let me see what they told her. They told her to stand by at 10:02. It's been a bit.
At 10:02?
Yes, they told us to stand by on info, and she's standing by. 736. I just got off the phone with the RP. She is down the road and is almost to her house to meet you.
Door 20, clear traffic.
Dan Berkner.
But she is down the road on her way there now.
10-4. 3150 traffic.
3150 location.
77 northbound, going to be 10 road 12, Oklahoma LP 1392, Ocean Dam Union.
Tower 1392, Ocean Dam Union at local.
Tower 140 up there with Comic Street.
Delta 140 clear with comments. 10.
Cyborg's hurt! She's hurt bad! Nunes said she could knock her out. We're seeing that now it's real. Oh! She's hurt. Nunes! She's still got her down. Cyborg nearly out on her feet! Oh! She did it! She did it! Cyborg out cold! No! She did it! Oh! Amanda Nunes has torn the mixed martial arts world on its axis tonight! It was too fast. She was too fast for her.
She said, baby, do you ever miss being alone? I said, hell no, I don't. She said, baby.
Delta 180 for commercial alarm at 4563 Columbia. Hold in by absolute security.
Delta 184.
Delta 165 animal control says no PD needed. Here's the horn. It's going to be a male urinating in front of an old CVS. No description.
Location code 1 Northwest.
Perfectly.
Truex again with a run to the middle of the racetrack around the outside of the 48. Blaney, Busher side by side for third. No run for Keselowski.
Right time for just checking.
10-4, just checking.
the mini gym. I got 5 missing kids.
You advise you have 5 missing kids in the gym area?
In the mini gym area, a parent came up to me and said she's missing all 5 of her kids.
10-1.
I'll get your name.
You're coming in with a lot of static.
I'll get your name here in a minute.
10-1. All officers at Miller, did you copy traffic?
The office to the mini gym.
26, what was that? $129, $132.
132.
Did you copy traffic?
Negative.
There's 5 missing kids in the mini gym. Can you assist 126?
10-4.
10-4. Same traffic for 132?
Same traffic for 132.
Did you copy traffic?
132, copy traffic. Over the route.
10-4. Traffic's not coming through. $129 and $132. Kids have been found. Thank you.
1306, dude. Adam 120 clear. Adam 120 for an unconscious. I need a taking clear and be en route with her. It's going to be a 79-year-old male location. Delta 1.
I'm sorry, mister.
Unconscious on patrol 1. Adam 120 en route. 79-year-old male conscious and breathing. He wasn't responding at first. They were checking his breathing.
Thank you.
Adam 130, 10-4. 1400 copy, unconscious. 2 officers en route.
Delta traffic.
319 Delta location.
Delta 59, camera 4. right now.
Conscious and breathing, 10-4. Flight 3. Flight 2 is accidental. Accidental, 10-4. Delta 170, clear.
Delta 165, show traffic.
Location.
Harrison Horn, Sam, George, 2819.
There's it, Horn, 10-4.
Camera, signal. Showing service for funeral escort.
Delta 1, be advised, Adam 120's call is going to be a sick call. Delta 170, Delta 140, verbal disturbance, 221 South Staples. Delta 140, Temple.
My fellow Americans, I come before you tonight to announce my resignation as the President of the United States. It is with a heavy heart that I do so, but I firmly believe that my stepping down is what is best for our great nation at this moment in history. As your president, I have always strived to make decisions that were in the best interest of our country and its people. It is this same commitment that has led me to this difficult decision. I have never been a quitter, but sometimes one must step back and see the larger picture. Our nation is embroiled in controversy and a deep divide. I firmly believe that a change in leadership may be the catalyst we need to come together as a united front and begin the healing process. I have spent almost 50 years in public service. It has been the honor of my life. But the role of a president requires full focus, undivided attention, and unwavering commitment. I find myself in a situation where I must also turn my attention to my family. Having lost one son already, the thought of losing another, my son Hunter, is unbearable. He needs me now more than ever, and as a father, it is my duty to be there for him. It's time for me to put family first. Vice President Harris will be sworn in as president at noon tomorrow. I have full confidence in her leadership and believe she is well equipped to guide our nation through these challenging times. I wish to express my gratitude to the American people for the faith you have placed in me and the opportunity you have given me to serve you. I have always believed that public service is a noble calling. I urge all Americans to stay informed, stay involved, and hold our leaders accountable. Thank you, and may God's grace continue to bless America.
Channel 131, can I share with that property call? We're at the Seabreeze, 809 Dairy, 809 Dairy, Unit 2502. Contact Mary.
What was the case number right here?
10-4. Case number is 37.
Adam 140, roadway clear. I'm clear. You can put me on with 131.
140, double.
Copy direct, Agnes 286, you're back up.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, do you mind doing this call down March? You get a couple stops for this traffic enforcement. Yeah, they're more here.
Hey, David, you can do a special assignment, and then if calls just start stacking up, you can clear. That's another thing today with the dispatcher.
Was that for me? I didn't catch you.
Yeah, 10-4. So I would put myself for assignment. That way they wouldn't send me a call and get a few stops in. And then if something like big ended up dropping, I would clear and go to that. That's what I did the traffic.
Yeah, no, I know. I was trying to do it without it, but I'm just catching people on 81 tops right now.
I traffic with them 37 southbound and 358 southbound. It's gonna be a RP and a blue Toyota. It's gonna be on the shoulder.
Yeah, you're right there. Copy that. Delta 190 clear.
And 319 Delta location.
FM 666, Harry 44, Nora Boy Nora 7919.
Just in between.
Mary Young Call, 6851.
I copy.
Copy, Sam Henry Sam 4073.
10-4.
That's when you can send me one rotation.
Rotation. 10-4.
Number 150 truck.
Location.
37 northbound, Calhero 12, Texas, Paul William Robert, 4094.
Paul William Rubber 4094.
Delta 180, can I get that crash number?
Delta 180 crash number 4731.
Long. So my station has my planer at the bottom, and the wood feeds this way, kind of perpendicular. So I'm going to pull my station out onto the deck I had built so that I can way more easily feed the wood through. And then I have my long. So my station has my planer at the bottom, and the wood feeds this way, kind of perpendicular. So I'm going to pull my station out onto the deck I had built so that I can way more easily feed the wood through. And then I have my long. So my station has my planer at the bottom, and the wood feeds this way, kind of perpendicular. So I'm going to pull my station out onto the deck I had built so that I can way more easily feed the wood through. And then I have my long. So my station has my planer at the bottom, and the wood feeds this way, kind of perpendicular. So I'm going to pull my station out onto the deck I had built so that I can way more easily feed the wood through. And then I have my long. So my station has my planer at the bottom, and the wood feeds this way, kind of perpendicular. So I'm going to pull my station out onto the deck I had built so that I can way more easily feed the wood through.
Delta 165, go ahead.
And then I have my long. So my station has my planer at the bottom, and the wood feeds this way, kind of perpendicular. So I'm going to pull my station out onto the deck I had built so that I can way more easily feed the wood through. And then
I copy. en route, Delta 180, Delta 165. Airs at Watson, out on a subject, 10-4. Los San Bloomington, signal 410-4. K960, out with DP30, 10-4. 5813 arrived.
She stated that she was going to go outside of her vehicle and bring her husband back in to escalate the issue. The female is a Caucasian, saying no further description on her or the vehicle.
Okay, bike 4 clear and South Bluff Park, all bike units, QL 10-4.
Where are my winter layout?
They advise her to be moments.
Negative. They believe the female might still be outside, possibly trying to retrieve her husband.
30, so that's a 37.
Copy. 10-4.
She's going to be right on the exit on the eastern, or in a bad spot. Try to start me a rotation.
10-4. Start a rotation at a 120. She's in a bad spot. 10-4. Go ahead with the plate.
X-ray Charles 5651.
Adam 140, can hold up my call, put me on that. I'm closer than 130.
Adam 140. 10-4. Adam 130, copy. I will.
30 right.
Adam 120, Adam 140, go to mobile. Hey, if you'll pull up in front of her, that way we can go to loader in your unit and just get her off the highway. I'll wait for the wrecker.
No more. Adam 130 area.
Adam 130 in the area.
adult female in custody. Can I get
Delta 170, adult female in custody at 1105. Case number is 40.
140, transporting two adult females, starting mileage 987.8 to the Venus Circle K on 37 and Leopard.
37 and Leopard, transporting two adult females, 987.8 at 1105. 10-4. Okay, bike 4, could you repeat that? 36 and Agnes, 10-4.
Adam 140 arrived, mileage 988.3.
Adam 140 arrived at 1106.
Delta 170, around CBC, 1 adult female, starting mileage 0.
The gain miles 0, transport adult female, 10-4 at 1106.
Adam 140, delivery, I'll be back. You can have the record, bring it over to the Bolero on Leopard and 37. We'll just drop off over here.
I don't know if they're gonna do that without payment. Is she gonna pay with card or cash?
Yeah, they usually charge for that, so just let her know if she wants to pay, they can do it. 10-4. Okay, she just had a text car.
You could take it to their spot.
That's right.
Come on. Bye, just checking.
Just checking, 10-4.
Delta 180 record arriving.
Delta 180 record arrived. K95 Wilfer. Delta 110 10-4 K95. I'll double check for you.
Out of 140, I'll be clear my park and get back. Another call.
Adam 140 10.
Paul Nora 3718. Paul Nora 3718.
Star 20 clear. 4.
Adam 131 traffic.
Adam 131 location.
37 southbound is exiting Rand Morgan. Stand by for place. Paper tag 3598. Dan 47.
37 South Rand Morganton 4. Delta 1 to advise U2 pending to priority 4. Everybody's busy. Go ahead.
In reference to that vicious animal, was animal control to be able to
They try to key him up on animal control. Sometimes they don't respond, but they'll try again. I'll find out. Delta 110.
shows like 1113 is
Okay, empty field. 10-4. I'll notate that and show you clear. Y'all can be right here. 1102 South Shoreline. For that disturbance.
that the manager is being rude. He's going to be waiting in the lobby, saying the police were called on the reporting party's mom last night and they were asked to leave. RP's going to be wearing a gray shirt, black shorts, and a blue hat.
Yes, we're going to be at apartment 505 at the Bishop Plaza.
Okay.
So it's usually 503.
503 temporary.
Traffic.
10-4 location.
FX 666, County Road 44.
666 and County Road 44 temporary. County Robert Victor 3409 temporary. DP 30 location.
2300 here is X-Ray John 0588.
Lincoln X-Ray John 0588 temporary. Turning on to 18th Street temporary. Temporary.
Alright.
Temporary.
Adam 131, I'm clear to stop, doing special time.
Disregard that tone. Adam 131 tempo.
more time when everything's wrong. You
north at Lantana or south?
It's gonna be south. Looks like a multi-car pilot.
Do you think they need an ambulance?
10-4, turn this way for now. I'm gonna go ahead and walk back down there.
When you say multi-car, how many?
From what I'm seeing, maybe about 3. Possibly more.
Okay. Adam 131 special assignment. Any units that can clear major accident 37 South Lantana multi-car pile up. They're seeing 3 or 4 vehicles out there and units that can clear.
Adam 131.
Delta 1.
Wanted to advise that we have a major traffic accident on Patrol 1 at 37 southbound in Lantana. It's going to be Adam 120. The record's clearing up. I'm going to flip back around and get behind that accident.
10-4 Adam 120.
Adam 130, same traffic.
Adam 130, 10-4.
Delta 1 mobile. Yeah, 27.
10-4, go ahead.
13398539 13398539. Last name is Cox.
En route to back up Charlie 130 and Charlie 1 for suicide threats call 3102 Santa Fe, 3102 Santa Fe at the Chateau Santa Fe Apartments, apartment C30.
319 Delta clear traffic.
10-4.
It started on the Charlie side. The RP said that they received text messages from a female named Faith saying that she wanted to harm herself, sent a video of her taking a bunch of pills.
units in the area.
It looks like we need the right lane and the actual exit. Okay, just the right lane.
Right lane, shut down to 10-4.
I got the right. Patrol 2.
1400.
Flight for 809 Hudson Bay number.
Okay, go ahead.
San Paul Boy 4833. Paul Mary Victor 9592. Nora Lincoln Tom 3486.
Not verified.
I have one more, but they're down the road. I can't see them just yet. I'm waiting for an option. I'm on the way.
Okay, 10-4.
Nueces Bay, temporary.
I don't want 30 for right now. Start one rotation.
Copy.
Go ahead, Dan.
Runs with Allstate at 120.
Car video is not working at 11:31. Delta 1 went 10-7 for a family emergency.
Okay, thank you. 1 to 10 is we have on right now.
Charlie 1.
Okay, I'll call. Tower 20 was Sam, John, Mary, 2375. Sam, John, Mary, 2375. Thank you.
10-4.
Can I get a transport unit over here, woman?
K940, 10-4. Let me check if he's available. 5813, Naples and Clemmer.
I have adult male custody. Is it for, yeah, 10-4, adult male custody.
Adult male in custody, 10-4.
Adam 120 pressure.
4732.
$330.
20.
Can I show you a
Disturbance is not in progress. RP states her neighbor approached her husband and began threatening him. Copy 10-4.
Matter, that's 633 with Dache. Your point of contact is Dahlia.
Nope. Delta 165, show clear.
Delta 165, clear. And let me show you en route to disturbance, 121 North Shoreline.
10-4.
It's going to be a male cursing at customers, third party calling in. Black male, dreads, white shirt, black pants. Possibly left as well. No, he's still there is what they're saying.
Star 20, clear traffic.
Star 20, clear traffic. Delta 140, can you check for vicious dogs? No one to contact.
Okay, Apple, you do have a unit coming for transport, Apple?
I started transport. Is transport acceptable?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just follow them to CAC.
Okay, yeah, he's in his way.
10-4, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I'll get back here.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, did you add the Thomason? It's not coming up on my end.
Wait, what?
Bike unit?
Bike 5. All bike units will be clear, and we'll be switching over to Patrol 3.
Okay, 10-4. Delta 180.
Just make sure if I show me what that unit on Naples.
Delta 180, 10-4.
Star 20 traffic.
Star 20 location.
Pulling the Chubby's mattress on I-69. Sam Lincoln 3593. Sam Lincoln 3593.
Chubby's mattress, 10-4 on I-69. Charlie 1, are you on patrol 1 or 2? No response, 1143.
30 ready.
75 ready.
Delta 140 is the area.
10-4.
Delta 180.
Go ahead.
You have transport coming to our location?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and cancel them. I'll transport them.
5813, copy direct.
$1,400 on patrol. Did they advise on injuries on 37 accident?
They said no injuries. Is that correct? Adam 120 for confirmation, no injuries?
That's it for no major injuries.
Thank you so much.
10-4.
Delta 130.
Go ahead.
Can you show me that 7 at me?
10-4.
Star 20, clear traffic.
Star 20, clear traffic.
K940, I'll be back on info.
K940, 10-4.
Delta 110, I'll be here.
Delta 110, clear.
Goodness, thank you. A lot going on.
You answered my question
Oh.
because I'll give them enough expectation.
Okay, well, the outfit certainly stands out, my friend. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good to see everyone. Happy Wednesday.
Congratulations to the National Small Business Week Award winners. Your
Delta 165, 10-4.
Please welcome Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver II.
Good evening. As the member of Congress representing Independence, Missouri, Harry Truman's home, I've spent a lot of time over the years just thinking about President Truman's legacy. When people think about Harry Truman, some remember his defense of democracy. Some remember his fair deal in the face of economic uncertainty. Tonight, we'll all remember his humanity in the face of discrimination. And when I think of Harry Truman, I'm also reminded of Joe Biden, who joins us here tonight. Well, when I think about Harry Truman, I'm reminded that there are a lot of similarities. Both men came from working class backgrounds, and they used grit and determination to ascend to the presidency. They were drawn to public service not by ego, but the need to go. They swore their oaths as Americans, and they lived as Americans. During their time, mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters.
21st Record arrived.
Generations may divide, but decency unites Truman and Biden. President Biden's commitment to the working class, affordable education, and social equality embodies President Truman's view of the fair deal, and it calls us to build back better. Never heard that term before. I'm creative. Reading today's newspaper will no doubt remind us that President Truman's wisdom is needed as much today as it was in 1947. Too often my colleagues turn to Scripture without realizing their own hypocrisy. Blessed are the poor in spirit, unless they need some income assistance. Blessed are those who mourn, unless they are saying Black Lives Matter. Blessed are the meek.
Case number is 42.
Black or brown. Blessed be the leader whose spirit can do both things. Thank you for joining us tonight.
You want to turn one piece up?
Item 131.
When I
Go ahead.
think about
Looks like we may actually need a third rotation. One vehicle
being here with us,
stuck to the other one.
reminds me of my grandpa.
One vehicle stuck to the other. 10-4.
And my grandpa was a great preacher, and he would have his
Attention units for reckless driver 358 North at Bear. 358 North at Bear, gray or silver SUV speeding. Passing Bear, northbound, 1152.
Stood up as he did every Sunday for the offering. And the ushers came down,
Please welcome
got the plates, many of you.
CEO of Auburn Manufacturing, Kathy Leonard.
Past the show. And they're about to pull down to the front for the blessing of the offering. And Grandpa said, get it out of here. And everybody looked physical. I said, get it out of here. Get those plates out of here right now.
Thank you.
So they turned around to leave, and one of them had...
I'm never going to want to go back to manufacturing.
Why do you want us to get it out of here? He said, because it's
Welcome,
tainted.
everyone,
This is
and what a
tainted
wonderful welcome
offering.
to me. I really appreciate it. I'm
And
Kathy
I
Leonard,
said,
founder
"What do you mean?
and
It's tainted." He
president
said
of
it's tainted
Auburn
enough.
Manufacturing.
Clear.
This is a huge day for us.
Um,
Small
Delta
companies like
165
us
being around
just
for
don't get
disturbance
the
of a weapon
opportunity
during
Truman,
45 Eisenhower priority to close to
President
call
Biden
just
of the
came in
United States.
about 5 minutes ago.
Doesn't
realize it tain't enough
We've
to just
been
go
making
into the Oval
heat-resistant
Office. You gotta
textiles
do
for
something.
industry and defense for
Jim
43
Clyburn,
years now.
my
We started
friend,
in Mechanic Falls with 2 people. I was
realized
one
that
of
it
them,
tain't enough to just
and
get
have
one
expanded
self-elected.
exponentially over time.
Have to help get somebody
We're
else
now in
elected.
2 places. We have
And
2
so,
plants, one in
remember,
Mechanic Falls, one here in
Truman,
Auburn,
Biden.
which we're in.
Tain't enough.
And we have now over 50 people. And we're on track to increase our workforce by another 30%. Growing a business, I know, finally. Growing a business, especially exponentially, isn't easy. We've experienced many challenges during those
very
years.
much.
First of all, interest
I hope
rates.
I'm enough.
They were 14% when we started building our first building.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you
That's pretty high.
for joining us
Secondly, Chinese
as we
dumping
gather to
of
civil
silica fabric, one of our
civil
major
rights
products,
legacy
stole 30% of our
faithful
domestic
president
industry
of these United
back
States.
by 2016. And
I've
that
spent a
forced
great
us
deal
to
of
file
my
an
30-plus years
anti-dumping
in
case
Congress
against China. And
reflecting
it was
upon the
successful,
consequences
but very
of Harry
expensive.
Truman's presidency
Then
and its
COVID hit,
impact
just as
on our
we
nation's
were
pursuit
recovering
of a more perfect
from
union.
what we'd been through the last
President
several
Truman's
years.
heritage would
That was
suggest
a really
that he would
difficult
be
time
an
for all
unlikely
of us.
champion
But
for
President
civil rights.
Biden's American Rescue
grew
Plan
up
helped keep
in a
businesses
segregated
like us
town in
afloat.
Missouri.
It helped
In a family
reignite the U.S.
of slave
economy.
owners
That's the
and among
truth.
friends who were adherents to white supremacy.
His bipartisan infrastructure law got folks hired, rebuilding our roads, our bridges, our critical infrastructure, and helping businesses
who,
of
upon
all
being
kinds.
honorably discharged,
His Inflation Reduction Act and Chips and Science Act,
South Carolina,
and his focus
President
on
Truman
American
experienced
manufacturing
a
has increased
Saul-to-Paul
demand for U.S.-made products like ours.
Sergeant Wood,
So,
while
we're
proudly
now
wearing
back.
his uniform,
We're growing our workforce again.
adorned
We're entering new
with combat
markets,
ribbons,
and we're upgrading our
brutally
plants and
attacked
equipment.
and
While our
intentionally
tagline, you can see over
blinded
there, is innovation
police
on
officers
fire.
in Batesburg, South
You know,
Carolina.
we were really on
When
the
he
brink
heard of the
about
incident,
flaming out for a
President
while.
Truman is reported
And
to have exclaimed,
it's now,
"My
it really
God,
is now innovation
I had no idea
reignited.
it was
So,
as terrible."
But that's enough. You
as
know, the
that.
Bidenomics agenda
We
is
have got
helping make that happen
to do
for
something.
small U.S.
He
manufacturers.
followed that explanation
But enough about us.
by stepping
It's now
outside
my
his comfort
distinct
zone
honor to introduce
becoming
the
the
President
first
of the United
president
States,
to
Joe
address
Biden.
the National Conference of the NAACP. Signing Executive Orders 9980 and 9981, which desegregated the armed forces and the federal workforce, and appointing
Kathy, thank you.
federal commission
status and attach one. Best name, first name Rudy.
equal treatment and fair play.
In
In short,
91278.
Delegation, the mayors.
a more perfect
Thank you,
union.
thank you, thank you.
Tonight,
Governor Jana Mills, you're doing a great job for the
75
people of
years
Maine.
and 13
my good
administrations
friend,
later,
And a great partner.
we're
and a
honored to have
tireless
with us
fighter for good
another
jobs,
president
Senator Angus
who is
King,
not afraid
including right here
to
in
step
Auburn
outside
manufacturing.
of his comfort zone.
Representative
Not
Terrell
unlike Truman, our 46th
Pingree,
president,
champion of
Joseph
farmers and
Robinette
workers,
Biden,
the
is
environment, a
constantly
great friend.
underestimated
Representative
by
Jared
the
Golden,
public class.
whose greatest claim to
According
fame
to
is a
them,
beautiful wife and little daughter I just met.
He could not win the presidency.
Independent voice of the people of
The
Maine.
headlines
You served the
were not all
district
that
just
different
like you served your country as
from
a
that
Marine
iconic
with integrity,
headline,
honor, and fearlessness.
"Do
Thank
it.
you. And by the
Defeats
way,
Truman." In the November 3rd, 1948
by the way, he also
edition
fought hard for delivering funding on
of the
several
Chicago
airports.
Tribune,
I wonder how he
like
got that money.
Truman, Joe Biden
You're doing a
has
great job,
proved
pal.
the
Thanks to
naysayers
state legislators and
wrong.
local officials here today, and I
When
know
he came into office,
he's been hit hard by
prognosticators opined that it would take years
Griswold,
to regain the
worked
jobs and
closely with
economic
Lieutenant
footing lost
Brown
during the
team that we have
once-in-a-century
to get what you need. Not going
coronavirus
away.
pandemic,
So everything's back.
and an
Build
inept
back
response.
better, not just build back to where it was, but
President
better,
Biden
because the environment's changed an
responded
awful lot.
with the
I'm
American
here to talk to
Rescue
you about what
Plan
we're doing to bring manufacturing
that
back
put
to America.
shots in arms,
About our progress in building an
reopened
economy from the
schools,
middle out, the bottom
and
up,
cut child
not
poverty
the top
in
down.
half.
Yesterday, we
It
learned the
spurred
economy grew faster than
historic
expected last
and
quarter.
equitable
And this morning, we saw data
economic
showing that
recovery.
last month, the annual rate
The
of
bipartisan
inflation continued
infrastructure
to
law
decline. So inflation is
provides
now
long
at its
overdue
lowest point
funding
in 2 years.
to repair roads
Wages
and
are up
bridges,
after being adjusted
provide
for
much
inflation.
needed public transit
When I came to office,
and
I was
high-speed
determined
rail,
to
makes
end
the
the
largest
trickle-down
investment
economy. Excuse me, this
in
little
clean
stand
drinking
down.
water in American history,
Don't triple it.
and help
Maybe I stand
ensure
up, make myself
every
reach this
American has access
I came
to
to office
affordable,
determined
high-speed
to move from a trickle-down
chips
economics
and science
that everyone
act
from the Financial
that
Times
is
and
bringing
the Wall Street Journal
semiconductor manufacturing
called
back to American
Bidenomics,
soil
a plan that's working.
and creating
Building from the bottom
regional
up.
tech hubs
That's the one I
to
hear, right?
ensure
Folks,
Silicon Valley's
all the
prosperity
trickle-down stuff.
will be
We
shared
do very well. We all do
across
well.
the country.
Well, my dad was
The Inflation Reduction
my dad
Act,
worked like the devil, a real
which
gentleman.
includes
Not
historic
a whole lot ever
investment
trickled down on our
in
kitchen
clean
table.
energy manufacturing
Middle-class
and
folks.
takes
I didn't
on
get much.
big pharma
According to Morgan
to
Stanley and
bring
Goldman
the cost
Sachs,
of insulin
it's leading
and
to a
other
boom in
prescription drugs
manufacturing, what we're doing.
down.
We've created
The safer
over 13 million
Communities
new
Act.
jobs, more than before
to tighten
the
the
pandemic.
loopholes in background
Nearly
checks for firearm
28,700 here
purchases
in Maine.
and break the cycle of violence and crime prevention and mental health treatment investments. The PACT Act
800,000 new
upholds
manufacturing
our
jobs
safety commitment
nationwide.
to our
We've
veterans
attracted
by expanding
$500
health
billion,
care screenings,
$500 billion
assistance for Iraq
outside
and Afghanistan veterans,
private
and surviving families
Can I have
impacted by
the
toxic exposure.
That's more jobs in 2 years than created by any president in a 4-year term.
But the PACT Act does something
Unemployment
else.
in America has been below 4%
back
for the longest stretch in over
and
50
grab
years.
those Vietnam
It's
veterans
not just that we recovered
who
all
did
the
not
jobs we
get
lost
proper
during the pandemic.
assessments.
It's that we now have more jobs than we did before the pandemic. Because unemployment has
And
been
I've
so
talked to
low for
several
so
in my
long,
congressional district
workers have been left
who said
behind
to
for
me that
decades,
when the
aren't
PACT
just
Act
finding
passed,
jobs, more jobs,
have
but finding
benefited
better jobs with
15
higher pay.
and 20%
No
up to
wonder
95
job
and
satisfaction, according to
100%.
all the measures, is at a 36-year high. A share of
Now,
working age
President Biden
Americans
was
in the
doing all
workforce
of
is
this
as high as it's been
while
in 20
implementing
years, including during every single day my predecessor was
$116 million in
Remember,
student
we were
loan
gonna have that
debt forgiveness for
infrastructure.
3.4 million borrowers. And
People are coming off the sidelines.
bending the long arm of the
Unemployment is
moral
down, but
universe
so is inflation. Remember,
toward justice.
the experts told me
by
and told it all
fulfilling
to
the
get inflation under
campaign
control.
promise
And I love
that
this.
shocked
middle
the
class guy.
prognosticators
We had to lower
when he made
wages
it,
and had to have
putting
higher unemployment.
first
Only way to get
black
inflation
woman
down.
on our highest
Maybe we get
court.
the excess profits of corporate America down and lower. But I've never thought the problem was.
President Biden has repeatedly stepped outside of his comfort zone and delivered for the American people.
Too many
Because
people,
of his wisdom,
or the working people were making too much money.
courage,
We
and
now know a
determination.
big part of that reason for inflation was the
Unemployment
pandemic, the
is
war
at
in
a
Ukraine,
50-year
broken
low.
supply chains, and excess profits. All hitting pocketbooks hard.
13.2 million new jobs
By the
have
way,
been
I'm not
created,
against corporations.
and consumer
I come from the
confidence
corporate
is
capital of the
high
world.
and rising.
Delaware.
For the first time
More
in
corporations
generations,
incorporated in my state than every
we
other
are
state
bringing
union combined.
manufacturing jobs back
pay
to
their
America,
fair share.
and last month, the economy grew 2.4%, exceeding expectations, and inflation dropped to 3%.
When the pandemic
In
hit,
short,
all of a sudden we could get those little
Bidenomics
computer
is
chips
working.
size and you clip my little finger. Well, guess what? You need about 300 of them.
And
to
the
build
American
automobiles.
people
Guess what? You know, go
are
on and
beginning
on and on. We
to
attracted-
respect
We attracted
because of his temperament,
over $300 billion.
temerity,
People
and
coming to America
tenaciousness.
to build those factories.
Joe
Those
Biden
factories now here in
has
America.
restored our nation's
decided we're never gonna be in a
preeminence
position we don't-
around the
9084,
world and
9084.
rejuvenated
A phrase I don't think
the
any of us really
American
heard
people.
until 3
Ladies
years
and
ago.
gentlemen,
So we went to
it
work.
is my great
Bring our
honor
company back
to
on track,
present
fixing those supply
the
chains.
46th President
We
of the
made a
United
lot of
States of America,
progress.
Joe
Now,
Biden.
one reason we have inflation fall by 2/3 without losing a job is the corporate profits. We have more to do. But I like what I said. Inflation is at the lowest point it's been in over 2 years. In fact, the lowest rate of inflation among the world's major economies. Thank you. Every major economy in the world, our inflation rate is lower. We're growing faster. We're economically more advanced than every other major country in the world. We're talking about
down from 9% to 3%.
all that Harry
It's going to
Truman
continue to go
did.
down. While there's more work ahead, earlier
And
this week, the Washington
I was
Post
reminded,
suggested
and I will I'm gonna
Republicans
send the
may have to find
Truman
something else to criticize
Library
me
a
for.
copy of it.
Now that inflation
My
is
grandpa
coming down, maybe they'll
was
decide to impeach me because
an Irishman named
I don't know.
Ambrose Finnegan.
I love that one.
And I lived in Scranton till
At the same
the
time,
economy
pay for low-wage workers
just
has grown at
drew
the
down
fastest
and
pace in
there
over
was no
2
work.
decades.
My dad
Wages are growing faster than
was a
inflation. That
salesperson.
means an awful lot to working
And we
people
moved down
where I come
to
from.
Delaware, Claremont,
They
Delaware.
have more money in their
We
pockets.
go home all the
than they did
time to
before.
Scranton.
My dad
And,
used to say, at the end of the month,
One
the question
day
is,
we went
you
back.
just have a
I was
little-
back
after
in
you pay all
Scranton,
your
and a
bills,
lot of my
get us a
friends.
little
I moved there
breathing
to Delaware when I was in
little
third
breathing
grade.
A
But
little
we went home a
left
lot. We still call
Folks,
Scranton
that's
home.
Bidenomics. It's about growing
And
the economy and strengthening
we
the
were
middle
up there
class.
on St. Patrick's Day
Making
when I
things in
was
America again.
14 years
Under
old.
trickle-down economics, it didn't
And
matter
I
where
was
a company
standing on
made
the
things, as
corner
long as it helped their bottom
watching
line.
everybody go by
Even if
and
that
going
meant
to the event.
Jobs and supply chains moved
And,
overseas.
Harry Truman was a speaker at the Truman dinner that year.
To send the jobs overseas where the labor was cheaper.
Sort of the David
bring
Broder
the product
of the
made
Scranton
back to the United
Times
States
was a
more
guy named
expensive.
Tommy Phillips, who was
Entire towns and communities got hollowed
elderly
out.
man, younger than me, but
Not
older
just
than
here in
me,
Maine, but all across America.
who was the chief political reporter.
All America.
And they got a
Small
picture.
towns and medium-sized
And I
towns
hadn't
all
thought about it in
across
a long
America.
time, but I'll send it over to the
Factories got shut
library.
down. All
Of
over
me
the
at
country.
14 years old, standing in
Parents
the
saying to
corner,
the children,
and it was
honey,
a
I'm
warm
sorry, I
day
lost my job.
for February.
We can't live here anymore.
And I'm standing in the corner in a
You saw
long
it here in
sleeve shirt
Maine.
with my buddies.
Let me remind you of a few
And President
examples.
Truman was coming around the corner,
Auburn
coming
and
over Dimmick
Lewistown, right
Avenue,
next door.
and he was in a
used to be home
convertible.
for some of the country's largest
And
textile mills.
purely by accident,
Bates
I
Manufacturing
assume it was an
is
accident,
the largest employer
the
in Maine.
photographer from the
With
newspaper
1,000
got a
employees
picture of
supplying the
me
country with high-quality
making
cloth
eye
and clothes.
contact with Harry Truman.
Bates
It was just-
Manufacturing
I'm
survived
sure a lot of
the
people
Civil
made
War,
eye
the Great
contact with
Depression,
him.
and 2 World Wars.
But I was looking, and you
With
can see in the
1990s,
photograph, we're
American
looking at
textile
one another
production moved overseas.
eye to eye.
Bates closed shop,
And
and by
that's
the way,
when this
my
Tommy
state
Phillips,
used
the
to be a
David Broder of the
gigantic
day,
producer of
in
textiles.
Scranton wrote,
DuPont Company.
that's when Joe Biden
Same thing
knew he was
happened.
going to be president.
Maine's iconic paper. Same thing happened. The industry lost 8,000
I knew
jobs
I was going to be president
over the past
when
2
Jim
decades as paper
Clyburn
mills shut their
went
doors.
ahead and endorsed me. That's when I knew I was going to be president. Thank you, Jim.
Founded in 1829. Provided generations of good jobs. And up to
This is a great honor
40%
to be here
of the
tonight,
town's
and I mean that
tax
sincerely.
revenue. A decade ago, it closed.
Summer
Devastated
1918,
the town, like so many
First
thousands
World
of
War
towns
War.
all across America.
Train moves through the
Between
outskirts of
1990 and
Paris.
2010, Maine lost
American Army captain rides alongside an
45,000
all-white regiment
manufacturing
heading to the front lines.
Like
The son of a slave state, the grandson of slave owners, Captain Harry S. Truman
They used to be.
looks through his glasses
When these
toward
towns
the
were hollowed out,
blood-stained soil of the Second
something
Battle
else
of the
was lost
Marne
as well.
that
I come
ended
from northeast
just a few months
Pennsylvania and know
before.
about shutting down town.
It was a pivotal victory
Pride.
that led the vital
People
part
lost
of
their
America's,
pride, folks.
led by the
This is what
vital part
trickle-down
of America's
economics looks like.
369th
And now
Infantry
we're turning
Regiment,
things around.
the Harlem
Since I
Hellfighters.
took office, we've attracted
An
over $500
all-black
billion
regiment
in private
that
investment
spent
in manufacturing in
191
America.
days on the
Industries
front,
of the future.
longer than any unit of the
Seeing
South.
a factory boom.
A link
Spending on
to
construction
distinguished men and
manufacturing plants
ancestors in the
nearly
Senate,
doubled
the slave
in the last 2
free,
years.
risking their lives in every war since our founding.
His
For
4 years.
ideals they hadn't fully
Last
known on
quarter,
American soil,
factory
equality
construction
and freedom.
contributed more to the
A fearless
gross domestic
captain
product than it did
on
any
a
time.
concentrated battlefield with a segregated military.
Instead of exporting
A
American
snapshot in
jobs,
time of the work
we're creating
of all
American
time.
I was
and
happy, but
exporting
I'm about
American
to drop
products.
Soul of America.
That's how
So
we
our
make
supervising,
money.
there's a transient, a broken sewer,
Representative
vacant
Clyburn and
property.
Cleaver,
Mail was
families
tugging
and
on the
neighbors
doors.
distinguished
They
guests
were
of our
locked.
fellow
He
Americans.
gained
I
entry
speak
through
from
the
Carry over
tonight,
tragedy.
manufacturing. Now, you're
not
a
from a
The mail was
battlefield,
taking
but from another
pictures
sacred
of the
place,
property.
the
making
National
advanced
Archives.
RP thinks
Home
they
of
might be
timeless
stealing
words
copper,
that
white
point
mail,
We're
toward
in
orange,
North
decades of
Star.
economic
shirt,
storm.
green work pants.
Now, with the Help
Light.
American Rescue Plan,
For the dreams and the
They're having the
pains of
biggest
centuries of
export year.
enslaved people.
companies
in America.
growing, and their
An
products
idea,
are made
once
in
the most
America.
simple and the most powerful
Made in
idea
America.
in the history of the world. That we're all created equal. Endowed by our Creator with certain reality and rights to
Not just
deserve
here,
the
but
treatment
here,
of
we're
equality,
seeing a resurgence.
not just at the beginning, but
Maine's
throughout our
paper industry
lives.
as well. Under the previous
Covenant.
administration,
A covenant we
a
made
mill
with
in
each other
Westbrook,
so
owned
central
by
to who
Sappi
we
North
are,
America, laid
and
off
enshrined
35
in our Declaration of
Under my
Independence.
administration,
We hold these
they
truths
got
to
$1
be
million
self-evident.
grant for the American Rescue Plan. They
Constitution,
used it to invest in
we the
technology
people,
to improve
our Bill of Rights,
yields.
with the freedom of
Now
religion,
they're
speech,
expanding their
press,
business,
assembly,
creating
and
hundreds
more,
of good
all
paying
safeguarded in this hallowed
Bucksport, the
place.
old Verso site.
History
It's now
requires us
home
to
of an aqua
acknowledge
farming company
that we've
that
never
raises
fully lived up to the promise of America,
sustainable salmon.
captured in the essence of these documents.
Town is beginning
But
to boom again.
our aspiration is to be a more
And that's
perfect
just the
union,
beginning.
ensure that we
Focus
never
on
fully
growing the
walked
rural
away from it
economy of
either.
Maine as well and all across the country. For
Just like the Army
under my
captain who became
administration,
President of the
Maine
United
has
States of
received
America
millions of dollars to
walked toward
strengthen
our
and
North
expand
Star
access for small,
when he signed the executive
mid-sized
order
meat
that Jim
poultry
mentioned,
processors.
9,
Up to now, you had to go
981,
hundreds of miles.
that
You only
desegregated
had
the
a
United
few
States Armed
processors,
Forces, July
and they
26,
gave you what they thought was
1948,
necessary, not what your
75
product
years
was
as
worth.
of yesterday.
Having these facilities close
Harry
by
Truman,
means farmers
born in
have a better
Missouri,
shot
to a
getting a
family
fair
and
price for
community
their
that
product.
embraced the Confederate sympathies.
When those farmers do well,
But savage
when the wealth they
violence and
generate
veterans
stays
of
in
black
Maine,
veterans
their
and the
children can
power of the
stay in
civil
Maine,
rights movement
continue to
changed his
farm and
mind
build a
and his
strong
heart.
rural economy. Building an
Guided by
economy
a
from the bottom
prayer
up and
he
middle out
memorized
means
as a child,
small
and the prayer went like
mid-sized
this.
farmers forest.
Oh, almighty and everlasting God,
right here.
creator of heaven, earth, and universe, help me to
That's why
be,
providing
to
funding
think,
encourage
to act.
companies to use
Delta
resources
240 is on the
right.
side. You can cancel out of 140. I'll take the other part.
That was a prairie memorized.
We're creating new markets for those
history
products.
says he spoke to.
Like mass timber.
When the time came,
Producing tall buildings.
Harry Truman did what a
Plant-based
very
packaging
American
material.
thing. He rose to
Sustainable
the
aviation
occasion,
fuels.
and he
That's where
chose
it's going
to
to
do
come
right.
From, by the way. Mark my words, next 20 years.
The American
farmers are
military have been
providing
segregated since our founding.
95% of all the
Yet
sustainable
hundreds of thousands of people of color, men and women, still
Adult female in
courageously
custody
serve
at 407.
with love of
Case
country
number is
that
going to be
offered good love.
450045.
They served in our Revolutionary
Welcome
War,
Fund
declaring
renovations
independence
at
from
the
a king,
Library of Bar
only to be
Harbor.
enslaved by a master.
Portland Museum of Art, using locally
They protected the
sourced mass
Union in the
timber.
Civil War,
We have
only
we have
to
a
face
grant
disunion
to a
under
company
Jim Crow.
called Tan Bar
They sacrificed
And
during
sacrificed
2 world wars,
to replace
fighting against
plastic
autocracy, only to be denied the
packaging
freedom of their own
using wood
democracy.
fiber. Your kids turn
The
out.
patriots
How many
like
of
the
your kids
Buffalo
come to you
Soldiers,
and say, Mommy,
legends
I
for
didn't
the
realize
valor
all
in
the
combat.
killing all those things in the
The
ocean.
Tuskegee Airmen, flying more than
Because of what's gonna
15,000
happen
sorties
here,
in
it's
the
not gonna
battle.
happen. Biopaste
Native
products are the
Americans
future
serving
of
in our
man.
military at the highest rate of any demographic, and there is 5 times the national
323, Buddy
average.
Lawrence at the stripes. Contact
Hispanic
me.
Americans, like those of the 65th
Brand new
Regiment,
company
Infantry
has
Regiment,
turned shuttered
helping
paper mill
liberate a
into
Nazi
America's
concentration
first wood
camp and
fiber
protect Allied
insulation
roads and
factory
airfields and
with 100%
Asian
clean
Americans,
energy,
Native
helping
Hawaiians,
families
Pacific
save on energy
Islanders,
bills
like the
and creating
442nd
140
Regimental
new
Combat
jobs.
Team, liberating Europe. The team that included one of my dearest and closest friends and a mentor of mine when I got here as a 29-year-old kid.
I want to congratulate
The late
Governor Mills,
Senator
who just
Danny
yesterday
Inouye,
signed legislation
who served in the Senate with
making
another
Maine
friend,
a
the
leader
great Hawaiian
in
veteran, the
offshore
late
wind industry.
Senator Daniel Akaka. The list goes on.
It's a big
Rank and
deal.
file cooks, custodians, secretaries, mailmen. Too
It
often
is
overlooked
a
and forgotten.
Big deal.
Made it work.
Committee.
Yet, when these veterans came home, they were still denied equal opportunity.
The 3
in housing,
gigawatts of offshore
education,
wind
jobs,
by
even
2040,
marriage.
in which will
Families
create
held in
good-paying
incarceration
union
camps. Many of them denied the benefits of the GI Bill because the states put up barriers to be able to collect that GI benefit. And targeted and racist violence that was callous and all too often casual and common. Let me take you back to 1946.
Big businessman, they said,
Jim already spoke to this. February.
why are you known
South
as
Carolina.
the most pro-labor
Sergeant
senator
Isaac
in the
Woodard,
history of America?
a decorated Black World
Simple
War II
reason.
veteran.
Makes your product
Saw
better,
3 years of war in the Pacific.
ultimately cheaper.
Returning
You know,
home to finally
everybody
see his family, he asked the
example,
bus driver to stop
electrician.
so he could use the
I
restroom.
want to be an electrician.
Instead, the driver called the police. On arrival, the cops pulled him off the bus while he was still in uniform.
And have the right to
Beat
live
him
out
so
their
badly they
life.
permanently blinded
They're
him.
going back to college.
Beat him so badly they blinded him.
They're the best
He was
in
in
the
his
world.
uniform.
This kind of resurgence is part of my
I'm
part.
still
That's America.
astounded.
So our future.
We're at Fulton.
Sergeant
Most
Woodard
people don't
reunited
know
with his
there's been a
family,
law in the books since
but he could never
1933,
look into their
which
eyes
means it's
again.
totally consistent with all
5 months later,
laws that exist.
July in Georgia,
And that law says
Army
when
veteran
the federal
George
government
Dorsey,
spends your tax
who
dollars,
spent 5 years in the
must be
Pacific,
spent on American workers,
home with his wife for just 10
products
months.
made in America. So, for example,
They were driving with
when-
his brother-in-law and sister who
when
was
the
7 months pregnant when a
Congress
white
comes along
mob
and says, "We
attacked
wanna
them,
build
pulled them from their
two-deck
car and fired
aircraft
60 shots, 60 shots at close range, leaving their bodies
$60 billion
barely
to
identifiable.
do things federally.
My
Guess
God,
what?
how sick.
They ain't doing
It's
anything.
unbelievable.
They say, build it in America,
What
buy
racism,
American workers.
fueled by ignorance,
Because for the last
can
50
unleash
years,
in this country.
the vast majority of Democrats and Republicans
The
did
next
not
month,
insist on it.
August
Did
1946,
not- that's what I mean by
in
made in
response
Well,
to
guess
similar
what?
acts of racist
I'm
terror,
insisting on it.
a 17-year-old college student wrote a letter to the Atlanta Constitution.
And by the way, it's good for
He said,
everybody.
quote, "We want
Not just
and
good
are
for labor, it's good
entitled
for
to
everybody."
the basic rights and
Today I'm
opportunities
going
of
to
every
sign an
American
executive
citizen."
order
End of quote.
called
That was a college student at
Invent It
Morehouse
Here
College.
and Make It Here.
His name was Martin Luther King
It's
Jr.
just how it works.
But a young king
Federal
wasn't the only
agencies,
person awakened.
Research,
A president was awakened as
fund,
well.
development, and encourage innovation.
Harry Truman felt a
This
moral
is
imperative to
those
respond
agencies
to the mistreatment of black veterans.
Prioritize domestic
He heard their
benefits
calls
when it comes time to bring those
for a double
investments to
victory.
market.
To win freedom abroad and at home.
That's the law.
We felt the urgency from civil rights leaders like A. Philip Randolph and the NAACP, an unlikely character in the civil rights story of America.
I announced new standards
Harry
required
Truman set
construction
his
materials
sights
used in
on
federal
our
infrastructure
North Star.
to be made
He created the
in America.
President's Commission on
Lumber,
Civil Rights and
glass,
issued the
drywall,
groundbreaking report
fiber
entitled
optic
To
cables and
Secure These Rights. That was the
every
title, To
federal
Secure These
infrastructure
Rights.
project we built by
Condemning
American workers,
segregation
using
and
American
outlined-
products,
outlining
creating
the
American
necessary
jobs.
changes in law and policy. Protecting the right to vote, prohibiting discrimination in jobs and transport, desegregating the military, and much more. But as you might guess,
Folks know
the
these
backlash
international
was
agencies
instant.
grade all governments about the capacity.
A friend wrote to him
We
pleading
used to
to
be
change course.
rated to have the number
President
one best
Truman wrote
infrastructure
back, quote,
in the world.
I'm asking for equality of opportunity for
number
all
13.
human beings. And as long as I
China
stay here, I'm going to
Used
continue to
be
fight. End
beyond
of quote.
13, and now they're number 2 or 3.
Members of their own party, members of the military,
going on?
rejected his civil
How
rights
can you have
agenda.
the best economy in
Undeterred,
the world,
Harry Truman acted,
13th ranked infrastructure?
and we're a much better nation, a
Through
much
the
better nation, with
bipartisan
courage and
infrastructure
commitment,
law. Some of my
and
Republicans
for the
crossed over and
sacrifice and
supported
service of
this.
all our patriots
We've
who
already
fought
announced
for
over
our democracy.
37,000 projects.
This year commemorates
4,500
two other
communities.
significant milestones.
Remember, we used to have
The 75th
infrastructure
anniversary
week
of women in
in
the
the last
military.
guy's administration.
And the 50th anniversary
Now
of an
we got
all-volunteer
infrastructure
force.
decade.
As
Because guess
Commander-in-Chief,
what? Guess
I'm
what?
honored to oversee the greatest fighting force, literally, not figuratively, in the
It's
history of the world, and that's not hyperbole.
$300 billion invested in America over the next 10 years. 1.5
And I might add,
billion invested
the most diverse fighting force in
example,
the history of the world.
cleaning up legacy pollution.
And folks,
Cables involvement temporary.
these two points are
Maine
not
is
these two
receiving
points are not
$164
unrelated.
million to
More than
replace
40% of our
lead service
active
lines
duty
in
force are
food
people of
and
color.
invest in
40%.
things like PFAS.
About 20% are
We're
women, up
moving
from just
every single
2%
lead pipe in America.
in 1948.
The risk to everyone's health.
A fighting
Especially our
immigrant
children,
force
400,000 school
and those
families.
native born,
That lead.
hailing from big cities, suburbs,
Right
small
now-
town, tribal communities. As our military became more
Over
diverse, it became stronger,
42,000 homes
tougher,
and
and more
small businesses
capable.
across Maine.
Proving
don't
our
have
diversity is a
access to high-speed
strength,
internet.
not a weakness, a necessary
We're
part
investing $500
of our
million
warfighting, our
in Maine to
deterrence, and our
connect
successful
every
military
single corner of the
operations.
state, especially rural communities.
and our unity
Affordable
out of
internet.
many, not division.
We're making it affordable,
ensures
saving
good order
nearly
and discipline,
100,000
unit cohesion,
families
effectiveness, and
$30 a
military
month
readiness.
for their internet
We've
bill.
seen it with generations
We're
of
making
patriots,
investments like
regardless
this all across
of
the
who they
country.
are, mentored
You
by,
can see exactly
trained by,
where to go if you go to
fellow
online and go to
servicemen
invest.com.
from every background, like my friend, the late Colin Powell. He was a friend.
Punch in wherever neighborhood you want to find
Like
out
so
about.
many
and
veterans,
see what we're doing.
I've had the privilege to
These
award our
investments are going to create
nation's highest
thousands of
honors,
jobs across the country.
working toward the same
Making
mission,
sure workers have the skills they need
forming
to
lifelong
do these jobs.
friendships, returning home
Maine,
to put on
the
civilian
AFL-CIO
clothes and
with
enrich
funding
every
from the
part of
American Rescue
American
Plan,
life.
just graduated his first cohort.
Bonding through a
of
deep
its
love of our
Union
nation
Construction
that draws
Academy
our
to bring
greatest strengths
unprecedented
and our
workers
greatest strategic
like
assets,
women and people of
the
color into
full
the trade.
talents of all the
The
American people.
IBW.
I mean, think about it. All the American so many times heard me say that. I've been saying for many years.
The
Many
IBW,
obligations
also
to
with
the government.
funding
We
from
only
the
have
American
one
Rescue
truly
Plan, runs a
sacred
free
obligation.
apprenticeship program for high school students.
Prepare and equip those we
And
send
there's a
into
training
harm's
center in
way
Newport.
and care
Folks,
for
this
them and their
matters.
families when they come home.
My
and when
investing
they
in the
don't.
American agenda also has another
Delta 240 area.
Me and my wife Jill,
Every single
for our
Republican
families,
in the
personal,
Congress
like
voted
many of
against
you.
the Inflation Reduction Act.
among the most important
one
duties
had
Jill and I have stood at Arlington to undertake the right of remembrance.
$59
So we have
billion
back home, and as we have
Delta
back home,
170 to Charlie 1.
environment.
Major Bo Biden, Bronze
See, they don't
Star,
think we got an
Conspicuous Service
environmental
Medal.
crisis. All
In
this stuff
fact,
happened.
Jill couldn't be here tonight because she just returned from Europe, where she paid her respects
You
at the
don't wonder
Brittany
about it
American
anymore.
Cemetery,
You
the
know,
final
when the
resting
ocean
place of
off the
thousands of
Delaware, off of
Americans,
Florida, it's
World War II
102
troops.
degrees. Something's going on.
It matters to Vice President Harris and our
Vast
entire
majority of them
administration.
voted
It
against
matters that we have the
voted
best leaders
against the
to
infrastructure
lead the
law.
best force in the world
That
that
hasn't
represent our
stopped
entire country.
From claiming credit for when
From
now
my perspective, that's
billions of
America.
dollars and thousands
That's
of
America.
jobs are coming to their states.
It includes the
Well,
first
like I
ever
said,
black Secretary of
State of
Defense.
I'll see them in the
Wanted to
ground.
be here tonight, but he's traveling to the Indo-Pacific to
Folks.
strengthen our security ties in the region. Secretary Lloyd Austin, a decorated former four-star general,
The distinguished senator from Alabama.
a war fighter with more than 40 years of service, embodying the very spirit
So I forget the exact
why we're
number.
here tonight.
is going to get
There's Deputy Defense Secretary
$1,600,000,000
prodigious
for
scholar
such
and leader, the first woman
He voted
confirmed
against
as
it.
Deputy Secretary of Defense.
You voted against it.
It's also,
I could go
I
on,
also
but I
got
won't.
confirmed 2 4-star generals that lead
But
our,
I made a commitment when I ran
combatant commands.
that I'd be president
Second
for everybody,
and
whether
third
they
women
voted
in
for
history
me
to
or
do
against
so.
me.
It matters.
The vast majority of
But
all
something
this money
dangerous is happening.
is going into red states.
I've worked
They've been
across
so
the aisle
badly
my
hurt.
entire career.
Majority of it.
And then
I'm not
my
picking
colleagues
winners and
will
losers
attest to
based
that.
on who they voted for. I'm picking winners
Good
and
friends
losers
of
based
mine.
on
You can call the
need.
CRP. We're not seeing their
The guy I
vehicle.
disagree like the devil
Folks.
with, but he's a decent, honorable man and does what he says. He's a Republican leader in the Senate.
Let me
Disagree
close
on
with
almost
this.
everything.
I'm not here to declare victory.
The Republican Party
in the
used to
economy.
always support the
We have
military.
more work to do.
But
We have a
today,
plan for turning things
they're
around.
undermining the military.
Bidenomics
The
is
senior
just another
senator
way
from
of
Alabama,
saying restoring
who
the
claims
American
to support
dream.
our troops, is
40
now
years
blocking
of
more than
trickle-down
300
economic
military
limited
operations
at the very
with his
top.
extreme political agenda.
But I believe every American willing
Like
to work
General
should be able to get a
C.Q.
job.
Brown,
No matter
F-16
where they
pilot
live
and
in the
wing
heartland,
commander, the
small
first
towns,
African-American to
northeast,
lead
big
any
cities.
branch of the armed service,
To raise their
to be the
kids in a
next
good
chairman
paycheck
of the
and
Joint
keep
Chiefs
the
of
roots
Staff.
where they
That's what
grew up.
nominated. He's waiting.
My dad used to have
Admiral
a saying.
Lisa
My dad was a
Franchetti,
well-read
second
man,
woman in our
greatest
Navy
regret was he
ever
never
to
got
achieve
go
the
to
rank of
college.
4-star admiral,
A
who I
really
chose to
decent,
be,
honorable man.
make history again as
And he
the
used
first
to- and
woman
I'll give him
chief of
words.
naval operations.
And all my sisters-
I've also nominated other outstanding leaders of all
Say,
backgrounds.
Joey, a
Adam
job
130,
is a lot
10,
more than a
40.
paycheck.
Right now,
Could you
tens of
announce
thousands of
two
Americans'
adult
daughters
females?
and
Is that
sons are
correct?
deployed around the
Respect.
world tonight,
It's about being able to
keeping
look
us
your kid in
safe
the
from
eye and
the
say,
immense national
it's gonna be
security
okay.
challenges.
22 now, one
The
adult.
senator from Alabama
Motel
is
down
not.
the street.
That's just
Motel
all
For the
about
first time in more than 100 years, we don't have a
That's the
sitting
American
confirmed
dream.
commandant of the Marine Corps.
If you're willing to
I
work
have one.
hard, you ought
By
to
the
do
fall, we may not have a
juvenile,
chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Starting mileage 33.
We may not have a military leader for our Army
Army
and Navy either.
investing in America.
This partisan
Investing
freeze is
in
already harming
Americans.
military readiness, security and
Because
leadership,
when we
and troop
invest in our
morale.
people, when we
Freezing
strengthen the middle
pay,
class,
freezing people in
we see
place.
stronger economic
Military
growth,
families already
everybody
sacrificed so
benefits.
much, unsure of
You
where
know,
or when they change
We're making
stations,
significant
unable to get
progress. I want
housing
you to know
or start their
we've done
kids
all
in the new
this without
school
raising taxes. And guess what?
because they're not
I
there yet.
commit that we'll never raise federal
Military
taxes on
spouses
anybody
forced to
making
take
less than
critical career
$400,000,
decisions,
period.
not knowing where or if they
Unlike
can apply for a new job. A growing cascade of damage and disruption, all
And here's
because
some of my
one
friends
senator from
on the other
Alabama
side, the
and
MAGA
48
Republicans
Republicans who
saying,
refused to
Big
stand
Bear
up to
Biden's
it,
raising the
to
deficit.
lift the
Guess
blockade
what?
over the Pentagon policy offering
For the
servicemen
4
and
years
women
that
their
the
families
last guy
access
was
to
president,
reproductive health care rights they
he
deserve
raised
if they're
the
stationed in
national
states
debt
that
by almost
deny it.
40%.
I think it's
You know, that
outrageous.
$2 trillion tax
But don't
cut?
just take it from
Raise
me.
your hand if you got any of it.
Hundreds of military spouses petitioned
$2
for
trillion,
the
it's not a penny paid for.
I'm clear.
One
There's no
spouse
animals
agreed,
out here.
referencing Senator from
2
Alabama,
years.
said, quote, this isn't a football game.
National debt.
This
And amount
nonsense
34,
must
$1
10, 12,
trillion,
correction,
$700
at
billion
12:23.
while doing all of this. While doing all of
enough.
this. $1,700 billion.
0.3 at 12:23.
It's time for the Senate to confirm the next chairman of the
ordinary
Joint
people
Chiefs
are
of
able to
Staff,
make a
the next
living.
Commandant of the Marine Corps.
They buy
It's
things.
time
They
for
go out and do
servicemen
things.
to
They're
receive
able
the
to
pay and
live.
promotions they've earned and
And
deserved.
raises.
It's time for the Senate of Alabama to let these
doesn't
generals and
cover-
admirals fully serve their country and service members
The idea
care
that
for
we're gonna
themselves
Lane
and
of
their
travel's
families.
been open, waiting for the
The
record.
longest
10
time,
for
I
Adam
urge
131.
Senate Republicans to
I've
do
been
what they
told to
know
give
is
up
right.
American
Keep our
manufacturing.
country safe like Harry
Some of you have
Truman.
been involved in American
Approve all
manufacturing.
those
How many times have
outstanding
you been told,
military
well, we
nominees
used to be
now.
the largest
Now.
manufacturer, but not anymore. We can't compete.
Which was routine in the past, I might
There's
add.
nobody in the world we can't beat, let alone compete.
Enough of the attacks
I've
on
never
our
believed
military.
it. And we
From
have
those
the tools
voices
to change it.
slandering the American military.
America used to lead the world of
Saying it's
manufacturing,
becoming
and
weak,
we're doing
soft.
it again.
and less capable.
Folks,
We hear it from a senior senator from Missouri who held his fist high and saluted on January 6th, even as veterans turned, police officers protected him and our nation
America's future.
as insurrectionists.
I know I look like I've only been around a couple
democracy.
days, but
We hear it from the
I've been around
junior
a
senator
time.
from Texas who
I've said-
fell for Russian
I've said
propaganda
that
suggesting
all my colleagues
that
and I
their
think
military, the Russian military, is
colleagues
better than
have
ours,
said-
calling our
say
military
it's never
emasculated.
been a good bet to bet against the American
Where the
people.
hell?
Never.
You're coming through with some interference. What was
Sorry.
the ending
It's a
mileage?
real bad bet to bet against us now.
035.
So, folks,
Frankly,
035 Pepper.
I have no idea what God's
I
name
really
you're
mean
talking
this.
about.
We just have to remember who in God's name we are.
Commander-in-Chief, I
We
can
are
tell
the
you without
United
reservation,
States of America.
not just
And
being
there's
in
never
this
been a
business for a
single
long time,
thing,
but being
a
a student
single
of
thing we've
history.
set our mind to
We have
and
and
war or
always will
peace.
have the strongest.
When we've done it
toughest,
together, we
greatest
haven't
force,
accomplished not
fighting
one
force in
thing.
the history of the world. And again, that's not hyperbole.
That's who we
That's
are.
real.
Let's not forget that. There's nothing beyond our capacity if we work together like you're doing here in Maine.
I'm sorry to go on, but
God bless you all, and may God protect
as
our
my
troops.
grandpa would
Thank
say,
you
this
very
gets my goat. Let me close with this. In June of 1865, a major general from the Union Army arrived in Galveston, Texas to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation and free the last enslaved Americans.
I'm coming back to shake your hand, but I forgot I didn't
Juneteenth.
sign the order.
A day that reflects the psalm,
All
what
that
the psalm
talk and
tells
no
us.
action.
Quote, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Last month,
All right.
2 years after I made Juneteenth a federal holiday, the first new federal holiday
I'm
since
signing the
Dr.
executive
Martin Luther
order.
King Day.
Federal research
Nearly
and
40
development in
years
support
ago.
of domestic manufacturing in the United States,
I hosted
which means
a Juneteenth
more
Congress
jobs.
at the White House, a beacon of our republic, I might add, built by enslaved people. Watching their descendants, students, dancers, singers perform in that lawn of the White House was spiritual. To think, thousands of black Union soldiers killed during the Civil War. Think, enslaved people remained shackled 2 years after emancipation. To think how many long nights they looked to the light and the North Star to keep the faith that despite Americans' original sin of slavery, this nation could be saved. That is patriotism. That's patriotism. During that powerful concert, we heard the great Jennifer Hudson sing from her soul about the glory that will come and echo an anthem of a movement. I can't sing, so I'm not even going to try. But I'll quote, "It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come. Oh, yes, it will." That's what happened 75 years ago when an American president chose to do right. And that's what we commemorate tonight. A forward march in our own lives, in the life of the nation, toward the North Star, the idea of America that beats in the heart of all of our people. I know we'll do this. I've never been more optimistic about America's future. Let us reflect and repair. Let us rise to the occasion and redeem the soul of this nation. Treat each other with decency and respect. Change the dialogue. Let's remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America. And there's nothing, think about this, literally, there's nothing we've ever set our mind to we haven't accomplished. Nothing, ever, if we decided we're going to do it. Nothing beyond our capacity when we act together. So let's reach out, even to those who have less than generous. Try to pull them in so we can act together. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. May God bless you all. And may God protect our troops.
Good afternoon. We're here today with the mayors of Phoenix and San Antonio and senior members of my administration to talk about the existential threat of climate change. And it is a threat. We're going to outline steps we're taking to help communities who right this minute, as both the mayors can tell you, are facing a real crisis in their cities. We'll talk about steps we're taking to help people get through this tough time. And we're also going to talk about steps we're taking to help communities prepare, plan, and recover and make our nation more resilient in future heat waves. And there will be more. I don't think anybody can deny the impact of climate change anymore. There used to be a lot of time when I first got here, a lot of people said, oh, it's not a problem. Well, I don't know anybody, I shouldn't say that. I don't know anybody who honestly believes climate change is not a serious problem. Just take a look at the historic floods in Vermont and California earlier this year. Droughts and hurricanes that are growing more frequent and intense. Wildfires spreading a smoky haze for thousands of miles, worsening air quality. The record temperatures, and I mean record, are now affecting more than 100 million Americans. Puerto Rico reached a 125-degree heat index last month. San Antonio hit an all-time heat index high of 117 last month. Phoenix has been over 110 degrees for 27 straight days.
Sam X-ray Charles
And with El Nino
8200.
and the short-term warming of the ocean that exacerbates the effects of climate change, making forecasts even hotter in the coming months. Ocean temperatures near Miami are like stepping in a hot tub. They just topped 100 degrees. 100 degrees. And they're hitting record highs around the world. And that's more like, as I said, jumping in a hot tub than jumping in an ocean to ride a wave. Most people don't realize for years heat has been, I have to admit, I didn't know it either. I knew it was tough, but the number one weather-related killer is heat. The number one weather-related killer is heat. 600 people die annually from its effects, more than from floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes in America combined. And even those places that are used to extreme heat have never seen it as hot as it is now for as long as it's been. Even those who deny that we're in the midst of a climate crisis can't deny the impact of extreme heat is having on Americans. Americans, like an elderly woman in Phoenix, who fell out of her wheelchair, and after 5 minutes on the ground,
I'm not getting a response on any of the channels for getting off.
third-degree burns. Or the firefighter who's already has lugged over 45 pounds of gear through smoke and flame, which is incredibly hot. The job is even harder and more dangerous to do in record heat. For the farm workers who have to harvest crops in the dead of night to avoid the high temperatures, or farmers who risk losing everything they've planted for the year. Or the construction workers who literally risk their lives working all day in blazing heat, and in some places don't even have the right to take a water break. That's outrageous. That is outrageous. Anybody who says that, does that. Folks, we really want to pretend these things are normal? Experts say extreme heat is already costing America $100 billion a year. It hits our most vulnerable the hardest. Seniors, people experiencing homelessness who have nowhere to turn, disadvantaged communities that are the least able to recover from climate disasters. And it's threatening farms, fisheries, forests that so many families depend on to make a living. But none of this is inevitable. From day one of my administration, we've taken unprecedented action to combat the climate crisis that's causing this. We're using a law I got passed the first day in office, first month in office, called the American Rescue Plan, to help states and cities promote energy efficiency, reduce flooding, and open cooling centers. We're delivering over $20 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure law to upgrade the electric grid to withstand stronger storms and heat waves so we don't cause more fires. Look, last year I signed the Inflation Reduction Act, the most significant climate investment ever anywhere in the world. Meanwhile, FEMA has been on the ground responding to those unprecedented weather emergencies in real time. And I've traveled an awful lot in that helicopter with you all across the country. And to see the devastation that occurs, the kind of wildfires and drought and the like. We've launched
Adam 120 pending accident for a bit, 37 access south at Middle Lane.
Heat.gov
Contact Raymond.
to share life-saving information that you may need to know about.
Adam 120,
Last year, my Department of Labor created the first ever national program to protect workers from heat stress. Since then, we've conducted 2,600 heat-related inspections at workplaces nationwide to protect the health and safety of the workers on the job, so they're being taken care of. Today, I'm announcing additional steps to help states and cities deal with the consequences of extreme heat. First, I've asked Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su to issue a heat hazard alert. It clarifies that workers have federal heat-related protections. We should be protecting workers from hazardous conditions, and we will. And those states where they do not, I'm going to be calling them out, where they refuse to protect these workers in this awful heat. Second, the Acting Secretary of Labor will work with her team to intensify enforcement, increasing inspections in high-risk industries like construction and agriculture. This work builds on the national standards the Labor Department is already developing for workforce and workplace heat safety rules. Meanwhile, the U.S. Forest Service will award more than $1 billion in grants to help cities and towns plant trees that in the long term will help repel the heat and expand access to green spaces so families have a place to go to cool off.
Negative. We're going
to
to.
bring down the
We're just trying to
temperature
gather
in
more
cities.
information for like to.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development is providing billions to communities to make buildings more efficient and to make more heat, make them more heat resistant, opening cooling centers for residential areas and in the cities that the communities can go to be safe. The Department of Interior is using infrastructure funding to expand water storage capacity in the western states to deal with the impacts of future droughts that are made all this extreme heat more consequential. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration is launching a new partnership with universities and impact communities to improve the nation's weather forecast and its accuracy, so Americans everywhere can be better prepared and they can better predict what the heat is going to be in that community with the weather. In all my Investing in America agenda, we provided a record $50 billion for climate resiliency to restore wetlands, manage wildfires, help Americans in every state withstand extreme heat. But our MAGA extremists in Congress are trying to undo all this progress. Not a single one of them, not a single Republican voted for the Inflation Reduction Act, which had all this money in it for climate, which provides funding to combat climate change. And now many of them are trying to repeal those provisions. We're not going to let that happen. Part of the reason we're here today is to get word out so state and local governments know these resources are available and uses them. We want the American people to know help is here, and we're going to make it available to anyone who needs it. Follow guidance from the local leaders and public safety officials when you hear it in your cities and towns and states.
That's 280, case number 480048.
Be careful on hot pavement. Know the signs of heat stroke like headache, nausea, dizziness. And always have water with you. That sounds silly, but always have a bottle of water with you when you're outside. Check on loved ones and neighbors who may not have air conditioning, and check on them on a regular basis. Or go to the mall or community centers or movie theaters or libraries where there's air conditioning when you don't have that air conditioning at home. Take advantage of local cooling centers. Hundreds are being built. They're there for everyone and they save lives.
77 North County Road 12, 10-431-50.
I'm going to turn it over to the mayor of Phoenix, who's on the front lines of dealing with extreme heat. And fire away.
RP's advising there's a homeless female causing issues outside of the store. Has been camping there for a while. White female, black shirt, black shorts, and a blue cap.
To talk about something near and dear to my heart
at the back
and
of the
on
store.
so many of our minds, extreme heat. We really appreciate your leadership on climate change with legislation such as the Inflation Reduction Act that will be the most important in a generation. Phoenix is known for heat. We are often called the Valley of the Sun. We have relentless summer heat followed by beautiful months of weather. But right now, this summer has really been unprecedented. And you've spoken about some of the challenges we have faced here in Phoenix. It's taking a real toll on our community. We feel like we are very much on the front lines of climate change. I've tried to make, man, you can feel it outside today. I've tried to make it my mission to adapt to this trend, to stay ever innovative and ensure we aren't falling behind on heat resilience. We're working to out-innovate climate change, but we need to work together to make sure all of us are on deck to address it. We need a whole-of-government approach. Phoenix is the first in the nation to have a permanent publicly funded heat office. They love the data that NOAA and your federal government is putting out to help us. Our emergency personnel and heat-ready volunteers are working diligently to keep residents safe through targeted outreach on heat safety, park trail closures, and timely responses to help our most vulnerable. The heat is a challenge for folks who don't have access to adequate AC or who are outdoors most of the day. So a large part of our efforts is getting residents inside as much as possible. We do it in a variety of ways through cooling centers located across the county, mobile cooling units, respite centers, and encouraging hydration at one of our many water stations. We also recognize that many families need assistance to make their air conditioners more effective or need federal aid with their energy bills, and federal dollars have just been crucial in supporting families' abilities to make their homes safer and more comfortable. The Department of Energy's Weatherization Assistance Program makes homes more energy efficient, lowering energy bills for the long haul, reducing overload on the grid, and making homes more comfortable in intense heat. Paired with the incredible incentives in the Inflation Reduction Act for residential solar, this can make an enormous impact for families. And Mayor Nuremberg, who's joining us, has been a real leader and a model for mayors in how to communicate all the good things that are in the IRA to our residents. The HHS Low-Income Household Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP, has been crucial for low-income families to help with energy bills. Even when the heat is over, many of our families may see their largest ever energy bill in their mailboxes. And we're among the many warm weather communities asking for balanced consideration of how these formulas are structured. Expanding these solutions would have immediate impact for families. We are also using ARPA dollars to address heat, and we are looking forward to applying for the funding for trees, which could really go a long way in making our communities more comfortable, that you have secured in the Inflation Reduction Act. We deal with this heat on an annual basis, so we've been focused on preparedness from day one and really trying to prepare for what is, for us, a long-term emergency. You mentioned that how many lives are lost to heat, and that's a real focus for us. We would love it if Congress would give you the ability to declare heat a disaster. We think that could really save additional aid, and that would even more multiply the impact of the FEMA hazard mitigation assistance and the building resilient infrastructure, the BRIC programs, which are a good start to building long-term solutions such as energy redundancy for cooling centers. So we feel like there are a lot of great tools, and I appreciate you helping communities across the country just make sure they're aware of the great ways the federal government is partnering. We're looking forward to working with you to become even more effective. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Look, you've established the Office of Heat Response and Mitigation. And sometimes I think those of us in government who do this all the time, we think everybody knows what all these titles and all these acronyms mean. But can you share some examples of the work and the outreach that you're doing in the community to try to let people know what's available and how you can help? I mean, what kinds of things? Because I find that's a difficult thing to do sometimes.
Absolutely. We're getting better every year, and we learn every year. We are trying to get out and share maps of where all the cooling centers are to deliver cooling kits. You mentioned checking on loved ones. We have a formal program called Cool Collars at the City of Phoenix, where you can register your family members, or if you know you might need a check during the heat of the summer. And we would love for more people to sign up to be checked on. The volunteers have been amazing. We've had thousands of engagement, and just having that permanent office has given us a place for people to go, both with ideas and when they want to volunteer. And we've been able to use some of your federal programs, including trying to find new ways to build housing indoors so that our construction workers are safer. So we appreciate the partnership. It's made our heat office more effective.
Well, it's not going to alleviate it right,
I'm going to head over there just based off of the comments.
We also have
on previous
a number
calls.
of programs to do everything from allow people to have the ability to get help to literally paint their roofs white, to change their windows and doors and get tax credits for doing it, so air conditioning doesn't escape. To be able, there's a whole bunch of programs that are out there that, as we get through the heat wave, as we get by this worst part, that we're able to invest in the communities to keep it from happening as badly next time it occurs. And so I'm looking forward to working with you, and I thank you for your leadership.
Please welcome President and CEO of Manufacturing,
How are you doing, man?
Kathy Leonard.
Doing great.
I hope the air conditioning's working.
So far, so good, Mr. President. It's great to be here with you and your team and with Mayor Gallego. And I first want to start by thanking you, Mr. President, for the invitation today and want to extend my sincerest gratitude